Good afternoon, traders. This is going to be a really important video for any Webull trader and probably any active day trader. If you've been trading for 6 months or a year, you're still kind of getting the feel for things. I learned a lot today, and I'm going to share it all with you right now. There's a couple issues with Webull 5.0 we're going to go over with the hotkeys and active trade settings that you need to know about if you're going to use hotkeys, especially with bracket orders. Then the second big thing we're going to go over is how to use Webull to screen for stocks effectively, because what I've been doing up till now basically has gotten blown out of the water today with what I have discovered. So I'm going to show you that and how that's going to affect my future trading from now on. It's going to make a big difference, and it should reflect very positively in my long-term results. So this is really important, so stick around for that. And then lastly, if you have the stamina, I'm going to go over all the trades that I took this morning, even though they're basically meaningless now with what I learned today, because all of those trades would not have been taken with this new, I guess, realization that I've had looking at how the screeners work in Webull. So let's start with the active trade settings. This is really important if you use hotkeys. Let's go over here to active trade settings. I'm going to show you what is wrong with Webull 5.0 and how to work around it. So you can see that I have my buy customized set up. This is my buy hotkey. It doesn't matter if you use buy customized or buy ask and you set it the same way. The issue is the same no matter what. So I have my stop loss and take profit order selected. I have my stop price at 10% below my entry, my limit price at 20% above. That way I have automatic 2R, or 2 times my risk every time I get into the trade for my profit target. And the problem with Webull is that if I close this out, so I'm going to click done. Well, one problem is anytime you go into active trade settings, it lags afterwards. You see what's happening there. That only happens with active trade settings. I don't know why, but it happens every time. I'm going to go into active trade settings one more time just to show you that those settings are still in place, right? So everything should be good now. I'm going to close that out. I have to wait a second here because Webull's going to lag. And the other thing that I've been doing now to try to make those settings stay permanent is if you go up here, you probably can't see this, but there's 3 little horizontal lines. Click on that and then save as customized layout. I'm saving it as trading armor. Click save. I'll replace it so you can see my most recent settings that have been saved now. So if I close Webull 5.0 out and I reopen it, I'm going to close it and reopen it. Those settings should still be in place, right? Because I set them, I clicked done, I saved it as a custom layout. So let's just go, we're right back where we started. So we should be able to go into active trade settings and see that everything is the same, and it's not. The stop loss and take profit has now been removed. I'm going to close that out. We got to deal with lag for a second. Now I'm going to load, I'm going to go back up to those 3 horizontal lines and load the custom layout as soon as Webull catches up here. Custom layout trading armor. So now the custom layout is loaded. Go back to active trade settings. And again, those are unselected. So this is what you have to do. This is the way you work around this, is every single day before you start trading, open up Webull, open up the active trade settings, click these. This is, again, if you use the bracket orders like I do. Notice when I click take profit order, it switched from 20 to 10%. So you have to adjust that as well if you use the same setup that I do. Click done. Now for this entire remainder of this Webull session, as long as Webull is open, those settings are going to remain in place and you won't have any issues. But the next day when you come back, you're going to have to do the exact same thing again. So just write it into your daily trading plan, read it every single day. That way you don't forget to do something like that. I do it right after I check my internet connection. I open up Webull and I adjust my hotkeys so that they work properly for that day. Now, so that's issue number 1. Now, the big issue that's basically changing my day trading from the ground up is the screener issue. I've been looking for a way to use Webull 5.0 to screen for stocks the same way that I use it in 3.0. And if you watch my other videos, you know that I use the old version of Webull to screen. I click top gainers, one day, select all. Then I organize by volume because my main criteria for looking for stocks to trade is I want to look at the top 10 volume stocks, because volume is more important than anything else. If there's a lot of volume in a stock, especially if it's a lower float size, then the price is pretty much guaranteed to go up in the long run, as long as it's trading in an uptrend. So if it's trading above its previous highs, if it's in an overall uptrend on the daily chart, things like that, and it has a lot of daily volume, then it's very likely to continue on higher. So that's why I trade this way, and I only look at the top 10 stocks organized by volume. So let me show you what I did today on Webull 5.0 to try to get a setup like this. The problem with Webull 5.0 is I can't look at the top gainer screener and the statistics or quote at the same time. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about and then how I resolved that today. So if we go to Markets tab, and I look at top gainers, select one day just like before. Instead of clicking all, you have to click maximize up here, and then you can organize by volume. Where did it go? Gosh, so every time I try to do this, something else different happens. It disappeared for some reason, but I swear to you, I'm not going to restart this video again because I've done this already a few times. Let me go back down to restore and let's try that again because this should work. This is the first time I've seen this happen, but I'm just going to keep the video rolling because these are the issues that you could face yourself. Yeah, for whatever reason, I'm sure if I close this and reopen it, but I'm not going to do that. We should see volume up here on the right hand side. It should be like the 11th column down, and then you can organize by volume, just like I can organize by percent change or whatever. So that's the main message that I'm trying to get across, is that I can open this up, I can organize by volume, but I don't know what the float size is because I can't see the key statistics or the quote or anything like that. So here's how I worked around that. I went to customized. I put the top gainers here. Again, you can't see the volume over here unless it's maximized. So you can't use the top gainers alone. So then I decided to also add, again, if you just go to these add widgets, you'll be able to, let me just show you how to do that real quick. Go to markets and then click top gainers. That'll throw this one up there. Click most active. That'll give you this. If you click on quotes, then and click quote, then you can get that one on the list. Now you have to also set them as a group. So I have them all set as one. That way, if I go to say like ZXN, then wow, that thing is really moving. That's crazy. That's tempting to pull that up and look for a trade, but I bet you so it's not going to meet my criteria because look, this is probably going to be a garbage trade. There's absolutely no volume in here. This is a perfect example of why I have all these criteria before I can put a stock on the watch list. So JZXN is absolute garbage because there's no volume, 29,000 shares, and you can confirm that by looking at this active trader because this shows you the volume of the day. We're getting a little off track here, but this kind of proves why this criteria is so valuable. If I go to valuable, sorry, I'm pretty out of it at this point. Let's go to stocks. Or actually, let's go to my customized layout, and we'll put JZXN on that list. Again, I'll have that screener open on my my laptop, so you won't actually I won't have to flip between this. But look at this thing, 1 minute. I don't know if this is like an IPO or what, but obviously this thing is a garbage stock right now. You know, not worth trading because look, there's no volume here. If you bought into this stock right now, you're going to be stuck holding it, and who knows where it's going to go. So that is why one of the keys to my criteria is not just whether or not something is like the #1 top gainer, but is there volume? And that's where this active trade thing comes in, or these stocks that are active. So this list is organized by volume. If it doesn't make this list, it doesn't go on my list. So on my watch list. So this is what I'm going to be doing from now on. I'm going to have this open on my laptop, just like this, just as you see here. And if the stock, I click on it, if it's a free float stock, this one doesn't even have a float size. If it's trading with a float size of less than 100 million shares, let me just do something here because this looks kind of confusing. Okay. So yeah, what we're looking at, I don't know, it looked like it was showing you two different things for the float size there. So what we're interested in is the free float, which is right here. Oh, I see. It's over there now. Just want to see what that is. Free float, lot size. And when I had this smaller, okay, actually, yeah, free float market. Let me just see something here. Okay, so they're showing you the free float market cap there. All we're interested in is the free float size. So that's kind of tricky there. So I just wanted to get this size correctly so it shows the free float, because that was kind of confusing. So sorry about that. So we could use it just like this. And this is how I'm going to decide whether a stock goes on the watch list or not. Is, for example, here's ULBI, free float, 15 million shares. So that meets the criteria, but it also has to be on this list. It's not. I'm just going to go right to one that I know will meet the criteria, just to give you an example. Excuse me. This is a long video. Sorry about that. MITO, free float, 55 million shares. So it meets my criteria because I want to see 100 million shares, absolute max 110 million shares, unless it's number one everywhere. If it's number one here, it's number one here, and it has a float size of 500 million shares, then I'll look at it. But MITO must be 110 million shares or less. It is. And it's also on this list of the top 20 stocks by volume. So that one automatically goes on the list. But that doesn't mean I just look for an ABCD pattern and trade it. And I'll show you why. Let's go back to my custom layout page. Again, I won't be flipping through this because I'll have this open on my laptop. But let's look at MITO. All right, you could see that it opened up, and this was actually one of the trades I took by mistake this morning. I opened it up, and I'll show you that in just a second, and I saw this kind of nice ABCD pattern forming, and I kind of jumped in there, and I forgot to check the previous high. And this is why checking the previous high is so important, because if the stock is not trading above the previous high, meaning the high of the aftermarket or the pre-market, and the high of the previous day. That's my criteria. If it's not trading above that price, then you don't really know if there's true buying strength and buying power into the stock. And what happens is then a stock like that tends to sell off during the day, and that's exactly what happened. So this would have been the only stock so far, I think, on that screener that would have popped up on my watch list and would have given me the signal to put it on the watch list, not to take a trade, because it didn't break out through the previous high. So this would have been a no trade day, but instead, because I was using this other criteria that you've seen me use in the past of just looking at the top 10 stocks on this list, I took 5 trades today and they all lost. So that could be, you know, it's only a sample size of 5 trades, but that could be kind of proof that the old criteria was not strict enough, and that's why I was having a difficult time having a win rate above break even. So let's take a look at the trades today, and I'll show you what happened. In fact, you know what? Let me just make a separate video about these trades, because this is already a super long video, and I want to keep things on task for this video. Sorry about the phone call. The main message with this video is the hotkeys, which we went over, how to fix those, and then the screener. So from now on, I am going to have this customized layout screener open on my laptop, and make sure you save it as well. You can right click over here, rename the tab, name it whatever you want. I have it saved as TA screener for Trading Armor screener, and then save as customized layout, save, replace. Okay, now it's saved just like this. And when I open this up on my laptop, I can just open up that TA screener and it'll look just like this. So only stocks that are on this list, free float size of 100 million shares or less, and in the top 20 volume are going to be possible to look for trades. Then the next criteria is, are they trading above the previous day and previous session high? If they are, then I can trade the ABCD pattern. So that's it. That's going to be it for this video. My trading is going to change drastically from this because I've been taking a lot of trades that do not meet this current criteria. So what you're going to see from now on is probably a lot higher win rate, less trades taken, that's for sure, which is fine because I'd rather take less trades, and the trades that I do take have a higher probability of winning. Right now, after my trades today, the win rate fell even further. We're at about 32%, which is just below break even. So still not that bad because this, this is already a pretty good plan, but obviously it can use improvement. And that's what the new screener criteria is going to do for us. Without any errors or glitches, we're still above break even with this trading plan. So again, that shows you that the plan is pretty good already. But I think that is the missing piece of the puzzle, is that our screening criteria was not strict enough. So we were getting too many stocks that were trading with not enough volume on the list. So hopefully this video was helpful to you. I know it was very long and wordy, and I'm sorry about that, but it was, I felt, a very important video to get out, and I wanted to share with you those major issues and what I did about them to change things in the future. So we're basically going to wipe the slate clean and start a new 100 test trade spreadsheet starting today, because this trading criteria is going to change everything. We're going to have wildly different trading versus what we've been doing so far. So anyway, hopefully you're still hanging in there with me, and no matter what, always have a trading plan going into every trade. Stick to your plan. Take your stop losses no matter what, and then honor your profit target. And in the long run, you should be green. Let me show you one last thing. Even though things, were still pretty crazy today, I'm going to show you we only lost 76 cents because we're just trading with one share. And, we're testing things out. We're working with Webull 5.0, so a lot of new things going on. There's no reason to trade even half your position size when you have all these kind of new variables going on. So this whole month, all we've been doing is test trading, and we're only down $1.83. And so that just goes to show you the value of trading with one share while you're doing these test trades. So anyway, again, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. This is a lot of effort and work put into these videos and trying to discover all of these kind of hidden secrets behind Webull. Also, this is another important thing. If you're thinking about using the custom screener, don't. It doesn't work. I tried something else today to try to get this screener to try to organize by volume, and we're still not seeing the #1 volume traded stocks up here. Even with, let's go to, let's turn off all the filters that you can turn off. So now the only filters up here are region and exchange, and that just means that we're looking at stocks tradable in the United States. So it includes Chinese stocks, just not the Chinese stock market. Exchange is set to all, and we organize by volume, and we're still not seeing the #1 volume stocks up here, which we've proven. Let me just remove this. So it's saying the #1 volume stock is trading with 24 million shares. Let's remove the screener, go back to customized. Obviously, the #1 volume stock is T, right? Tesla's down here at the bottom. So the custom screener doesn't cut it either. All right, so we're definitely going to cut the video here. Lots of information. Hopefully it was helpful. Let me know in the comment section below. And if you have any questions about this or any of the trades that you see me take, let me know. I'm going to make a separate video I don't even know if I should go over those 5 trades because they're really meaningless. They're not going to meet this new criteria. So maybe we'll just start the trade recaps again tomorrow. So I will see you then tomorrow morning, and we're going to look for trades with this criteria. All right, take care.